Another massive warning sign for the U.S. housing market. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. Buckle up, strap in. Another warning sign rolling in hot off the presses for the U.S. housing market. You know, real estate is local. All areas will behave differently. If we pull from previous real estate downturns, not all areas did the same. Some weathered the storm, some didn't. Some got hit quicker, some made their comeback faster. It all behaves differently, but it tends to migrate around. Even where I'm sitting today, the $1 million district was the last place to get hit and the first to rebound, but we took a big, hefty haircut. And California, that's where we're at. That's where we're reporting from. It's the most euphoric of all markets in the U.S. It experienced insane run-ups, and it's still going through the biggest stress test ever witnessed in history, as it's somehow not crashed yet. Now, here's like I said before. It did crash previously. It was the last to crash. I expect that to be the case again if or when this one does what I assume it's probably going to do, because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this thing out. Anytime the housing market, which is the biggest asset class in the world, it's dangerous when you overheat the U.S. housing market. And we did it in spectacular fashion that invited more investor involvement than ever seen in human history, and people normalizing it. They wanted this time to be different. The only thing that was different, bigger bubble, bigger blowback potentially on the horizon. So I think you just can't rule that out. It's better to be prepared for something and have it not happen than have something happen and not be prepared. I remember early on when I started reporting on crash risk here at the channel, even as a licensed real estate agent who has financial gain in this, loves real estate, owns real estate, will take a haircut on my real estate. But I shouldn't say unfortunately, I meant to say fortunately, I saw this thing coming, so I prepared my real estate to weather a storm. And it's all income property anyway that's got great loan to value. So, you know, that's what we need to do now for you guys. Make sure that you can weather a storm if and when it comes. But I used to read like, Scott, I wish I had not listened to you because I could have bought that house and it went up in value. It still went up. Well, of course it did. That's what happens in a real estate bubble. My position is, what's the worst I could have done to somebody from keeping them or putting them or encouraging them or swaying them or has anything to do with them being on the sidelines? Oh, they're well insulated now with heavy cash reserves when a recession is looming so they can weather a storm and maybe buy a crash rather than jumping into the euphoria. I just don't see that as a big, problem. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this time is different. If this time is different, we don't produce a crash. It'll be the first time in history we overheated the housing market to this level, and it didn't crash. The last one that came even close to showing this type of bubble behavior was 2008, and we all know how that ended. Whew. Insanity, this stuff. So we're going to continue to give real talk, and I'm going to do some forward thinking, critical thinking, iron sharpens iron along with you. If you're new, please subscribe. Subscribe right away. We'd love to have you. Get on board. We're going to be forward thinkers, critical thinkers in this one. I promise you that. But the realities are this, friends. There's something that I want you all to know, and I know many of you are seeing it. 50% of commercial real estate, people renting commercial real estate, can no longer pay their rent. Vacancy rates are now approaching on a national average, I think close to 50%. But even if that's not the case, what is the case? You're seeing the for lease signs, right? I'm seeing them here in a very insulated area that's still, the real estate's still, holding its value somehow. Not going over asking price, not going multiple offers, but going in or around its appraised values. We're seeing that. But we're also seeing signs in a lot of commercial real estate, aren't we? Well, guess who right now, 50% of real estate brokerages are moving out of their offices. I'm seeing it in my town, all over town. Just went by the other day. There was a real estate brokerage. They are gone. 50% of real estate brokerages are no longer capable of paying their rent. Why? Well, of course, I'm going to tell you. When loan applications are now down to historical lows, sales and transactions have clearly dried up. So while they were enjoying the money dump, the money train, the euphoria, the casino climate, and normalizing it for you, they're now moving out of their offices, aren't they? What's that tell you, friends? As a forward thinker, critical thinker, what does that really tell you? Well, it tells you that real estate's in big, big trouble. Why, you ask? Well, of course I'm going to tell you. Whew. In 2008, the exact same thing happened. And I'm seeing it happen now earlier. It was when the recession, we were knee deep in it, that you started to see the office space go vacant, the real estate companies moving out. We're seeing it at the front end of a recession. Official recession, not even confirmed yet by leadership. Why? I don't know. Election year? Possibly. Money just sloshing around still in some areas of the economy? Possibly. Take your pick. I mean, we doubled the amount of money in circulation. You think that just works its way out overnight? Of course not. But one of the sectors, no, I shouldn't say one of the sectors, the sector that experienced the biggest bubble, because this was the everything bubble, right? Everything got euphoric. We went from commercials playing on TV, from, real estate commercials and crypto commercials and investment platforms. We went from that to, I can't pay my rent. How am I going to pay my rent? This isn't fair commercials. Save money with Medicare. It's all recessionary commercials, where before it was all euphoria commercials. So, I mean, just read between the lines and look between the cracks. That's in fact what we're seeing now. But in 2008, this took about, once the recession really, the crash was already in progress, official recession announced. That's when you saw about 50% of real estate offices no longer able to pay their rent. We're seeing that now. What does that tell you? Well, I'll tell you what it tells me. And I hate to say it because I'd love to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope at some point I can come back, hey guys, guess what? The first time in human history a real estate bubble sustained itself of this magnitude. We dodged the 100-year depressionary cycle. Maybe. I can tell you one thing. If I have to make that video, I'll tell you one thing. Everything changes. Everything changes forever. It will, in fact, be the you will own nothing but be happy environment, society. And that's coming. So if that's, pick your poison. It's either we crash and burn, or you're going to be just basically a social scored citizen in a brave new world, so to speak. And I don't want that for us. I really, really don't. I believe we need a massive, massive reset. We need the markets to do what they need to do to bring themselves back down to reality and get back to good old American capitalism. The open borders are a big problem. The homeless population, a big problem. The stimulus and the handouts, a big problem. The government overreach, a big problem. I'm just scratching the surface. I could go on and on and on. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a real estate guy who wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understand the biggest artificially induced housing bubble ever witnessed in human history is having its blowback. We talked about today real estate offices half moving out, and we're not even in recession yet. What's that tell you? It tells you, as a forward thinker, critical thinker, the housing market is no longer sustaining itself the way it did in the artificial environment. That was a delay tactic where we kicked the can too far down the road. Rates should have been risen immediately when it started showing that bubble behavior. For whatever reason, leadership let it go too long, and now we're suffering the blowback. And slight poetic justice is real estate agents that have been here grandstanding, telling you everything is different this time. Soft landing engaged are in fact losing their office space as we speak. That's why I'll be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way, because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It'd be our honor and are privileged to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, gonna love the next video. And there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. God bless. I'll see you on the next video.